Hey everybody. I just wanted to share something really quick. Uh, I have been running like a little experiment for a while. I wanted to see if I could grow some aquarium plants immersed, right? So basically, they are in water, they have their roots in the water, but they they're not under the water, right? So this is the original. This is the, I think I got this somewhere, but it was only like a few bucks, like a couple bucks, and it came with a bunch of little starter cubes and stuff. This is just a seed starter tray, and like you could find these any garden center online or whatever, really cheap, flimsy, will fall apart over time, right? And so what these are is these are just little rock wool cubes, and all I did was fill up this tray with some dirty aquarium water. So it just had some nitrates and stuff in there, just water change water, right? So I had a little bit of success with that, and did get some stuff kind of started and going, but I wasn't getting a lot of growth. So then I moved on to this, and recently, this is my chrysanthemum. I think this is pearlweed. It's either pearlweed or Cuba. But I recently actually took a bunch out of here, and this is actually a pretty good method of doing this. What I did was I took aqua soil and just put it in here, and then aqua soil has nutrients in it. It has ammonia and nitrates and stuff like that, and this stuff can put its little roots down into it. This actually works pretty well. So there was a lot more in here, and then I took it out and put it into another tank, right? So that changed into this. So what these are is these are just seed starter trays, and I got these off of Amazon. I'm going to put a link down in the description. And what this is so I did hook an air line up to it. So there's air stones in both of these, and this works better though. So in this one, I have more kind of carpet stuff going, and you can see I've got some algae in here. There's definitely some algae, but also these carpeting guys are doing really well. That's the important thing, is that I'm getting these kind of dense carpets going just with the plants where they're just growing out of the water so that they have access to free CO2. And then the little domes, these guys actually have little lights in them that are on timers. And then they run for about, I think it's 10 hours. And so basically, even if it were in like fall, like we're getting into fall, these still think that it's, spring or summer. So they're putting on lots of growth. As well as the temperature, it's nice and warm in here. But this guy is the real kind of success story. So all this is just, all this is in here is just aqua soil and then dirty tank water. So the dirty tank water has a little bit of nutrients in it. It has a little bit of nitrates and stuff like that, right? But this one is actually, this is different. So what I have in here is a whole bunch of different carpeting stuff. So I'm actually going to move you over here so you can see a little better. So what's in here is, well, okay, so I have like a little lava rock, right, with some Java moss growing on it, and just wanted to try some experiments with different things in here. The thing that I have gotten the best results from is this stuff, the pearl weed, right? So basically what I started out with, and you're going to just have to take my word for this because I don't have any pictures. I started out with one little clump. I took like one little clump of pearl weed out of one of these guys, and then I put it in here in this one little spot, and then it grew like crazy. So sorry, everything in here is in, they're either just little rock wool cubes. So this is just like a little 1-inch rock wool cube. And then what you're supposed to do is put your little seed in there, like in the little hole, or in this case, you put the little rhizome in there. So I got this stuff at, like an aquarium place, and this is like the tissue culture stuff. So it's been growing like under lab conditions, but it hasn't been growing submerged, right? So it's going to be snail free, it's going to be pest algae free, all that stuff. But so I started out with one little clump of pearl weed, and then just put it down on a little piece of rock wool, and then it put its roots into there, and then I took clumps of that out and started moving it to the other little, just like so, just putting it into other little cubes, right? And what's in here though is not just dirty tank water. This is actually, I guess this would be called deep water culture hydroponics, because what I did in here was I put some hydroponic nutrients in here, and you can see like I've got a lot of algae, right? I'm gonna feed this to my shrimp real quick. But what I put in here was this stuff. I just put in like, I don't know, like about a tablespoon of this stuff, just a really small amount of hydroponic nutrients. So this is, I mean, don't put this in your aquarium, right? Because it's way too strong for fish. But 12 is going to be the nitrogen. The 6 is going to be either the potassium or the NPK, nitrogen, potassium, and yeah, nitrogen, potassium. Forget what the other one is. But nitrogen is good for growth, and then the other two are good for like flowering and like trace nutrients, things like that. This stuff has just been going like crazy. So mostly what I have in here is stuff that stays really low to the ground, right? Like I have some hydrocodal SP, I think, and then I have like some crypts, and then I have some of these little teeny tiny anubius things, and lots of pearl weed, because the pearl weed has just been growing like crazy, right? But I also put in some anubius. So anubius will grow submerged and immersed. Like if you have a piece of anubius that's like big and tall, it's a very slow grower, right, underwater. But growing immersed, this has been growing pretty fast. It's ready to be split into two. It has like a good rhizome going, a couple of good rhizomes. I could definitely divide this into at least two plants, right? And then I have some of these little guys going as well, because I wanted to get this stuff going. But anubius will grow out of your tank, and then it will do just fine if it's out of the water. It's not going to dry out. But these dome guys keep the keep it nice and humid in here for everybody. So mostly I would recommend this for stuff that stays really low to the ground, like carpeting kind of stuff. But this is just the best way that I've found to grow a carpet, like before you put it into your tank, right? Because a lot of times this stuff, like when it's under the water, it stops growing as fast, and then it kind of grows really slowly, or it dies back a little bit. So if you can get a good amount of it going before you know, and grow it like in something like this, where the air stone is giving it plenty of nutrients to its roots and stuff, or I'm sorry, giving it plenty of oxygen to its roots, and then it's also kind of creating some bubbles and some moisture like in the air. The hydroponic nutrients, I mean, this stuff has just been growing like crazy, and everything that's in here is it's inert, right? So these are just like pieces of gravel that are used for hydroponics. They're porous, or like you could use like washed kitty litter. The rock wool cubes work really great, because the stuff just loves to put its roots down. Aquarium plants just love to put their roots down into rock wool. And then you can take the whole thing out and then pop it in your tank, like plant it in the rock wool too. But you're just gonna have to take my word for it that this stuff, I started out with like one little cube, and then kept dividing it and putting it into more and more and more. And the anubius has been growing pretty fast, considering that it's a slow grower, and then it's also getting kind of tall, so it's not staying as moist, like being low to the ground and then having the bubbles and the being like right next to the water. I could fill this up a little bit more too, so that these guys are more submerged. But this has been working fantastic for me to get a good carpet going and get it ready to put in a tank, so that when I flood, then I already have a good carpet going, so it's going to spread out better and faster, and be a lot healthier when it goes into the water. And if you start out with like one little tissue culture, it's going to be like $15, and you can take one of those little tissue cultures and turn it into many plants. So just a quick little video, but I wanted to share, because this has been working really well for me. Yeah, I guess that's going to be it. So see you in the next one.